Guys, Peepo here, and today's video is going to be about this, the Boombah Premium Mesh Kit. It's this nice little box right here. Comes in this nice little box anyway. And on the back it's got pretty much everything, and the description on it doesn't come in a super fancy small little packaging when you get the entire kit. It comes with a one piece of premium semi-soft mesh is what I chose as far as the style of mesh. 3 shooting strings, which are laces. They're nice cotton laces. And then 6 sidewall shooting nylons, which I have them kind of separated for what I'm going to use them to string with later. But 6 pieces that are not really sure the size of them, maybe 2mm or something like that. But yeah, they're all tipped, nice white simple design. And on the rest of the back of it, it says engineered for performance using ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, optimized strength to weight ratio, 30% lighter and 4 times stronger than traditional lacrosse mesh, waterproof to keep your pocket from sagging in rain or snow, reduced elongation, more consistent feel without stretch or shrinkage. So just diving straight into it, this is the Boombah mesh. The semi-soft performance. They have 2 or 3 different styles of mesh. I felt since this is a day and age of performance mesh, might as well go with that option. 15mm size diamonds. Upon first touch, it's not super rough, it's not super smooth. I feel that it's kind of right in the middle as far as that's concerned. It stretches out. You stretch it out to its maximum, and it doesn't really go any further than that, and I feel it'll hold its shape pretty well. I don't maybe after a couple of uses and throws and stuff, it might soften up a little with the whatever coating it has on it, which might be the polyethylene. But once that initial coating comes off, I think it'll be pretty good for face-offs. But otherwise, really solid mesh. I don't think it's too hard for soft mesh lovers. I don't think it's too soft for hard mesh lovers. So all in all, the mesh is pretty sweet. The right length, it's the right length. Doesn't feel like it'll burn easily. In fact, I believe I tried it. Yeah, if you're one of those people that strings kind of shallow and then cuts the mesh, I would recommend using like a plasma lighter or some sort of heat cutter to cut the mesh instead of cutting and burning. I don't think it doesn't really melt quite like most mesh would in order to singe off ends and stuff like that. Otherwise, the weave is pretty much the same as most of your conventional meshes. I really like the feel of it. The weave isn't like too long. Your cross sections aren't too long. And like I said, it's not too rough, not too smooth. I feel it's right in the middle. And all in all, overall, the mesh doesn't have any differences for the sides or anything like that. So, mesh is pretty solid. Yeah, mesh is pretty solid. So let's get into the shooting laces. Shooting laces are about, I want to say 32 inches long each, and they are cotton weave. Yeah, hopefully it'll focus. But cotton weave, it's somewhat of a loose, maybe a little bit on the thicker side sort of weave going on with it. Has a decent length tips, not too long, not too short. I like cotton laces, and I definitely like these ones. They're soft to the touch, but they're not overly flimsy. They won't be like, oh, you just put shooters in there. No, I feel these will perform well whether it's raining or dry. The sidewalls, all in all, pretty solid piece of string. It just feels like regular nylon. It's not too thick, but I personally feel it could be a little thicker, just because the thinner it is, the more likely it is to pop through sidewall holes and so on. If you do your double wraps properly and stuff up top on the compressor or any other head that has like bigger sidewall holes up top, I feel if you don't wrap it or string it properly, this sidewall string will probably pop through. But otherwise, I think it's pretty solid. It should last a season, maybe a season and a half of like spring or fall ball. Tips, just like the shooting laces, are not too long, not too short. Although it kind of feels, I mean, if you just look at the comparison here, one is a little, each string, one end, the tip is shorter than the other. So figure out which end is the shorter one and use that as your tie off. So like with you do the tie off, and the shorter one should be the one where the knot is, and then you go through the sidewalls and so on. But I feel those will do pretty well as sidewalls, shooting cords, whatever you end up deciding to use it for. But all in all, Boombah Premium Mesh Kit is pretty solid to me. I don't have anything wrong with it. If anything, I like the presentation of the box. It's nice and simple. You can reuse this for other things, maybe storing a present for somebody, hiding stuff, whatever. All in all, I think it's really solid. I mean, it's not overly expensive. I believe this kit was like, as a whole, the kit was maybe $15. So most of the time you get an entire premium performance mesh kit. Most of those the entire kit together is sometimes, like with the mesh and the strings and the shooters and everything, most of the time you're paying $20+ for most kits. So can't really beat that price. And I mean, until I string it, which I'll show you at the end of this video, until I string it, I can't really have an opinion of it. But all in all, as of right now, before being strung, I have to say it's pretty solid mesh, pretty solid kit all around. So let's get to it, and I'll show you this here in a minute. What's up, guys? Back again here after stringing it up, and I have to say that this mesh pretty much lived up to my expectations, maybe exceeded them a little more. Did a little bit of I strung it up. This is the Boombah Performance Mesh, and I put it into a Boombah compressor head to just make it all Boombah, and I have to say that it met my expectations. It stretched no more than I needed it to. It strung up to the pocket almost exactly as I needed it to. Didn't really have to worry about anything. Didn't feel like it was going to stretch too much or string awkwardly. Strung the top section nice and tight. It takes your top strings pretty well. As you can see, it's nice and tight up there. The attachments, so on and so forth, stretching it out. For the channel, I usually do somewhat of a wider channel just because of preference. The shooting laces, I did throw around with this a little bit on a shaft that I threw it on. Performance-wise, again, I mentioned that it's kind of smooth, but not really rough at the same time. It's a nice little balance between the two. And overall, I think the performance-wise, that it's really solid mesh. The sidewall strings, again, feel a little thin, but I definitely didn't have too much of a complaint about it. Stringing-wise, it really works well as a shooting cord. Doesn't really stretch or anything like that, but it does move well enough with the mesh when the ball's traveling through it. The shooting laces, again, are a type of cotton weave, loose but thick weave, and it takes a bottom string lace really well with that. Didn't have any problems stringing it. The aglets or tips of the string were just long, perfectly the right length that I needed it to be, whether it was a tie off or putting it through a couple times. No issues whatsoever with that. And the mesh retains its, oh yeah, dog stretching over there. But I mean, overall, if you had to give it in numbers, I'd give the kit overall maybe an 8 or a 9, and the mesh by itself I would have to give a 7 or an 8, just overall. And this is supposed to be the semi-soft. Again, I said that it would, after a little bit of use, the initial coating on the mesh would give way and allow it to be a little bit softer than it initially is, and I think this will turn into a very solid string job. So all in all, I really liked the kit, and I think Boombah has something really nice here. The only thing is their sidewalls could be just a little bit thicker as far as the kit is concerned for their stringing kits. Otherwise, the mesh and the shooting laces are exactly what I would want them to be. Nothing overly amazing, but definitely worth the price that they were at. I think it should have been under $20. Even if it was right around 20, that's a really good price for an entire kit. So thanks for watching, guys. Maybe go get yourself some of the Boombah performance mesh and check it out for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll check you later.